Something people who know me know about me is that I'm boy crazy. I have crushes on so many different guys, or I find them very attractive. I'm willing to spend time with them. I just enjoy men, boys, like men, not like little kids, definitely not that. But like men, like grown men are very attractive. And I always have at least one crush in mind at any point in time. And when I was in the 6th or 7th grade, my mom called me an international lover because I would have crushes on all sorts of guys from different races and all sorts of backgrounds. She was just like, "You are an international lover." And I was like, "Wow, Mom, that's so inappropriate. I'm a child. Why are you calling me this?" But as I've grown up, that's one thing that tends to stick with me, is that I tend to have feelings for guys of different backgrounds, but there's always been a few steady crushes that I've had, like people who have stuck around for a variety of situations, and I guess that's what I want to talk about today. So welcome, I'm Latia, this is my channel. I hope you enjoy this video. Please like, comment, share, or subscribe, and I guess I'll get to it now. So I journal often. I journal on a fairly regular basis. I haven't been the last few weeks because it's felt more like a chore than anything else, and it's hard for me to kind of sit and gather thoughts around days where I'm not doing very much. So I've taken a pause to give myself space and clarity to just be okay with not writing so much right now. Although I do have some ideas in mind for things after talking with my brother and watching Castlevania for the first time. He said that a good villain is the hero of their own storyline. And in watching this show with him, I'm like, I don't know who I'm rooting for. I'm like, I could see different perspectives, and I'm like, I'm just curious to see what happens next. So I'm just watching it on the edge of my seat, and it's fascinating. But besides the animated shows, I was going through one of my journals today, and I opened it to a random page, and I was reading about how I found this person to be a distraction, how I felt like I liked this person, but I was also competing with them, how we're similar yet different, and how obviously this person isn't ready for me and I'm not ready for them. Because in majority of the relationships that I have with guys, I have fun. I just enjoy it. It's like, what fun can we have? What amazing thing can we do next? Let's go. It's just an exploration. Nothing heavy, nothing serious, nothing super deep. It's not that we don't have deep discussions or intimate moments, but it's nothing where it's I'm rocked to my core and I'm just oh, I can't handle this, or I'm just super bothered by what they do. But with this person in particular, I am rocked to my core. I get bothered by what they do. I just feel insecure and not enough around them. I feel so small, not the best version of myself. And it's crazy because this person is always trying to bring out the best version in the people around them, and is always I uplift, I inspire, I'm so great and wonderful at making people feel good. And I'm yeah, except you put so much pressure on me, I can't handle it. I am not ready to be made into the best version of myself. I'm finding who that is, and I'm working through it in my own timing. And this person, I have been through a lot of things. We have a long history together, and this is that person where it's over the years we've done a variety of things and we have this deep history, but it's I know that I'm highly likely the person who likes him more than he likes me. He likes me enough to spend time with me, and is also very particular about how he spends his time. He's if I didn't want to spend time with you, I wouldn't. And I'm thanks, I guess. When we are together, sometimes it doesn't feel like you want to be with me, and I feel more uncomfortable because I'm I am weird, and I know I'm weird. And for whatever reason, there's a lot of people who can deal with my weird, and I'm appreciative of it because I'm thank you for helping me feel what I do isn't that bad. But I'm always very analytical about how I interact with people. So I'm always thinking about oh gosh, like they reacted like this. Did I say something wrong? Like, what did I do? How can I do better? Maybe I should just not say anything. Maybe I should say more things. What do I even have to talk about? And this person does a lot of things, like a day job, a side hustle, a hobby, another hobby. Like, he's very active in his life and world, and he's like, I'm a high performer and I want high caliber people in my life, and I really have high standards for the people that I surround myself with. And I understand that, because I'm like, that makes sense. If you want, like, you're the sum of your 5 closest people in your life, and if that's how you operate, like you want to be high performing, then you need to have high performers around you. And I do my best to be a high performer, but I'm like, I'm working through my own things that keep me from being at that place of high performance and excellence and being great. It's like, I don't know what stops me from it, but I'm diving into it and I'm getting the help that I need to figure that out. But this person is just like what I would be if I stopped having all my fears and doubts hold me back. I feel like this person is. And it's hard to have a version of yourself, like what feels like a better version of yourself that you're interacting with in real time, where it's like, I know you're a guy and all, but like we're so similar yet so different, and it's just weird and it freaks me out. And it's like I don't know, it's like the craziest thing ever. And he's been one of my biggest crushes, and it's hard for me to be myself around him. And I'm like, girl, get it together. You can't let how great you think he is stop you from being your great self. Just because he seems like he doesn't approve of how you are doesn't matter. And if anything, that should be a sign that, like, find better, as in a better fit. Like someone who appreciates you for who you are, what you bring to the table, and is willing to work with you at least a little bit, because people aren't perfect. Even if they're high performers, everyone has baggage and something that they're dealing with. So it's like, instead of dealing with this person who's treating me like, I don't know, a burden, it's like I could find people who treat me well and honor me and like appreciate me as I am. And I find people like that who just enjoy my company and let me do me and don't pressure me into doing better. But then at the same time, it's like, why aren't you trying to make me better? Like, not make me better, but why aren't we working together towards something? Then I don't feel like we're doing enough together. But I also don't want to feel like I'm being pushed or dragged along. So it's like, where's that balance in a relationship going to come from? And I know that I'm doing my best to push myself, which doesn't work for me. I don't get pushed into doing work. I don't get forced into doing things. That is not what motivates me. I'm not inspired by like the grindstone and I gotta slug it out and it's gonna be so difficult. I'm still figuring out, like, how do I show up every day at my best when I'm inspired and I'm joyful and I'm present and I'm ready to take action. So it's like, what my crush wants for me, I want for me too. Like, we both have a vision of Latia that is like, I'm beautiful, I'm gorgeous, I'm outgoing, I'm myself, I'm just blossoming and flourishing and thriving, and it's amazing. But we each have different approaches towards inspiring me to get there. His is more like, sometimes he's just very like blunt with me and very intense, and it's just like, you're just not performing up to standard, like get it together. And it's just like, I needed the feedback. Could you deliver it a little softer though? Like, dang, I'm a human. I have feelings. I feel a little hurt right now. Whereas like for myself, I know that I don't always realize what's going wrong or where I could do better. So it's nice to have like someone who can help me realize, like, okay, from a very practical, pragmatic, realistic perspective, these are the things that I can do better on. But the way that I'm trying to figure out how to be nicer and more compassionate to myself, it's like, how do I implement these things and get to a place where I am a high performer and I'm doing great and I'm proud of myself and I'm getting things done on time, early, and it doesn't feel like chores. It doesn't feel like I'm forcing myself for like, you know, like gun to the head, just, like this is miserable. I just want to feel good about doing what I'm doing. And even in my relationships. Like, I want to feel like I'm able to just be myself and not feel guilty for being me. And I feel like this crush is like the person that like calls me out, and I appreciate being called out because I don't get called out often. Like, sometimes my high performance coach will, and sometimes like a counselor will let me know like, hey, that was kind of mean. But I don't have that like steady, consistent like checkpoint where it's like, hey, you know, you could be doing better. So it's nice to get that feedback. I wish it came a little nicer sometimes. And I don't know if you have that crush, that one person that you just like are almost stuck to. It's like your paths just keep crossing and you keep coming together and drifting apart and coming together and drifting apart, because like that's been our history for a long time. And it's kind of a fun game because like no matter what, I learn and grow from it. But I also know that maybe there's better. Like, maybe I don't have to keep playing this difficult game, and I will still become the next best version of myself without all the wounding, if you will. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please comment below if you finished the video. Please like, share, subscribe, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and see you next time.